Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Evolutions, guys, and today we got another guide. We got a guide for the one and only Psylocke. She's a duelist, she's really good, but she's also very hard to play, so I figured why not just make a guide. And before we get into that, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with your friends. Maybe you have that one friend really struggling with Psylocke and kind of, that teammate not doing too good, no kills, not value to the team. Yeah, definitely you want to share this guide with them, help them out a little bit. All right, guys, so now we're in the ability section. So the first ability for Psylocke is going to be Psionic crossbow. Unleash bolts with Psionic crossbows to damage enemies and reduce the cooldowns of all her abilities. So right here you see her use her abilities, her shurikens, her E, and then she lands the left click, and then you see the cooldowns go away super duper fast. So this is very important because Psylocke relies on her abilities. They literally mean life or death for her if she has them available or not, because she uses her abilities to engage and disengage, and Psylocke is a very engage and disengage kind of character. We're going to go more on into why that passive is so important. It's probably the most important thing about Psylocke, but we'll go over that a little bit later. Dance of the Butterfly, it's going to be her ultimate ability. What it does is slash nearby enemies with a psionic katana, dealing massive damage. So this move is pretty straightforward. You just activate it and it's an AoE attack. You don't have to aim it or anything. She does that by herself. This is really good for cleaning up, but I want to recommend you guys not to use this all the time on a 5-stack. The reason being is if it's a 5-stack, you're using it on a tank, and tanks are really hard to kill with this ability. Obviously, there are scenarios where this would thrive using it on a full 5-stack, but that situation would be if they're really low on health or if they're retreating. What I do recommend is using this ability on the support and duelists when you catch them isolated, because if you kill the duelist and the support, the team fight is going to be that much easier, and they're already weakened, right? So you're weakening the team as a whole by killing the support and the duelist. So keep that in mind. You want to use this on minimum 2 to 3 people, that ideally if they're the support or the duelist, you want to use this on them because they're squishy and they're more liable to die to this because they have less health, as opposed to a tank, which is obviously a tank has much more health and more abilities to kind of keep them alive. So you want to keep that in mind. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't get into the habit of waiting to use this ability. Just use it on the squishier characters and you are bringing immense value to your team just by doing this. So keep that in mind. Don't hold on to the ability. Use it. You're going to get it back. Don't worry. You're going to be so much more valuable using it and taking out the support and duelist characters. So the next ability is going to be the Psi-blade dash. Dash forward and slice through enemies along the path with psionic blades. So this is one of her other abilities. It's very important because this move you're going to be using to engage and disengage, right? You get 2, right? And remember how I stated that the left click reduces her cooldowns when you land it? So initially you see her dash and then she dashes again, but in a real scenario you want to dash, left click right here, you want to left click and then get your abilities back and then dash out again, right? So you always want to be using that left click. And then the health, it does a pretty good amount of damage, right? So imagine you left clicking, moving around, and then dashing again. They're almost dead already, right? So definitely keep that in mind, that this move is really good to engage and disengage, or just to catch up to your enemies and finish them off. The next ability is Psychic Stealth. Enter stealth and gain a movement boost. So this ability, if I'm being honest, is the most important ability Psylocke has, because this can keep her alive and tell the difference between a loss or a victory, right? And what I mean by that is, if you can stay alive, that is so much more important than getting kills with Psylocke, right? You want to go in, you want to weaken your enemies, and then get out. You don't always have to get the kills, because there's going to be a point where you're in a 1v2 and you could kind of take it, but it is risky and your teammate needs you. So you definitely want to keep in mind that this ability is very important to always have, because if you need to disengage because there's too many people focusing you, this is going to keep you alive, and then regroup with your team and then go in for that team fight. So you always want to keep this in mind. This move is also really good for repositioning or positioning yourself to get a flank on your enemies. And also when you use this, if they see you, you create a pressure on them and they kind of become wary of you and they become a little bit more paranoid. This move is phenomenal. You always want to have it ready in case you need to get out, and always use it to reposition, because this ability is just they can't see you obviously, but then it gives you a movement boost to reposition into high ground, or to, you know, jump off a building, get into low ground and kind of worm away or hide away. This move is really good. Don't sleep on it. The next ability is going to be Wing Shurikens. Launch a volley of psionic shurikens that stick to enemies, dealing damage and granting herself bonus health. Press again to recall the shurikens. So as you see right here, she lands the first and then she recalls by having the cursor on the next Punisher. So this ability, if you are looking at the Punisher on the left, look at his health. It is almost half just by a shuriken and then a recall. That's a lot of damage. So imagine you're left clicking on them and you're doing the dash, you're L shifting on them, right? They're almost dead or they're dead, right? So keep in mind she does a lot of damage, right? This move is really good, especially in corridors, because if you're surrounded by walls, chances are you're gonna hit a wall and then you can just recall, right? Now this move, you can't recall if you don't hit anything, right? So when you're in a corridor, it hits a wall and then you get the recall. It's almost guaranteed, right? So definitely keep that in mind. And you want to use this as a last hit ability, because I find myself personally running into players and then let's say they don't win the fight, they end up running away, and if you don't have your dash up, you have the wing shuriken, it finishes them off and then you don't have to use the dash, or it's good, or you can just use it and save the dash and then go into a team fight. So the team up ability is next, the Psionic Disc. When magic is on the field, Black Panther and Psylocke can tap into Limbo to rewind a few seconds back to a previous position. After passing Limbo, Black Panther and Psylocke will gain bonus health based on missing health. So this is really good because Psylocke is really an engage and disengage kind of character. And then she gets a bonus shield based on her missing health. Is really good because it gives her a lot more durability and she could go back into the fight, or she can afford a trade in a 1v1, right? So definitely keep this in mind. If you have a friend that uses magic or is considering magic and you're a Psylocke main, definitely consider this team up because it's really good. It keeps Psylocke alive longer and you can afford more trades, take more risks, and ultimately get more W's. Who doesn't want that? So the next is going to be the suggested combo. Marvel kind of gives you a tip on how to use the character. It gives you an idea on what to expect when using the character, a sense of the gameplay style. So here it's suggesting we sneak up on enemies with psychic stealth and unleash psionic crossbow and wing shurikens to whittle down their health and finish them off with Psi-blade dash. Take advantage of psionic crossbow's cooldown reduction to cast psychic stealth again and vanish from the battlefield. Exactly. So you want to go in with the dash. You want to go in with the psychic stealth to kind of position yourself and kind of sneak up behind them, and then you want to use your left click, add damage, do the Psi-blade, whatever combo you feel comfortable with. But that's kind of how you want to play Psylocke. She's an engage and disengage kind of character. You're not always going to get the kill with this scenario, but you are going to have the ability to escape unscathed because you have the psychic stealth ready. So you definitely want to keep this in mind. So this is all the abilities for Psylocke. Now we're going to go into a gameplay of me, and I'm going to be doing a voiceover on what I was thinking throughout this whole match, or my gameplay strategy, or why I made certain decisions, and overall just to give you guys a glimpse of how Psylocke is supposed to be played. And hopefully you guys learn from this. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get on to that part. Alright guys, so right now as you can see, my teammate is all grouped up together. I'm just going to be lurking for an opening. Right now I see Venom right there. He's low, but right now Iron Man's taking care of him. I'm trying to focus the support, but they're getting healed by the other support right now. But no big deal. And like I said, guys, you always want to use the left click. That way you get your abilities. Right now I decide, you know, nothing's going on. let me lurk, and then I run into the support. I disengage a little bit because that fight is not in my favor. I'm not too sure who's behind him or who's helping him. So right now I'm just going to rotate on high ground just to see if I can get a better opening or catch them isolated and kill them. Right now, the cloak and dagger, they got killed. My teammate finished the kill. I helped him out a big much. And then we got Hawkeye right over here. So that's 2 kills right now. We got rid of the support and one of the duelists, which is really good. And then right here, we got the second support. This will be huge right here. So we got the kill right there, which is really huge. 2 supports are down, and so is 1 duelist. So right now, we're pushing the objective a little bit more. Doctor Strange right here is trying to overextend, just trying to stall for his teammates to come back. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate around and just be annoying and tax him for health. As you can see, the Hawkeye right there, he came back, but I dealt so much damage to him that he has to kind of fall back and heal up. Right now, I'm just rotating around, just, attacking them from the side, just trying to counter Doctor Strange's shield because he's trying to absorb all the attacks. That way, he's buying time for his team. But right now, if I just, roam around, just do damage here and there, and just kind of be annoying, I bring their attention to me, they focus me, and I get out of there. So the E right there, if I did not have the E, I would have died, and my teammate would have suffered a loss because I am a very important asset to the team as I'm the duelist. So right here, I tried to get away. I get away thanks to the E. Having that ready at the play is so much important. It's so important because without that, you would be down. And then right here, I go in and ult. Right here, I remember how I said that you don't always need to wait for the 5 stack. I got the support out of the equation, and then I finished up the tank right there, which is huge because now they don't have a tank, and now they don't have heals, and Black Widow cannot engage without a tank or support. I died right there because I did overextend a little bit, but I was just taking a sacrifice, taking a risk for my team to buy them some time, and ultimately get this W. So that's really how you want to play it with Psylocke. You want to go in and get out, and then kind of make openings for your team. And then if you play like that, you might just get MVP like your boy. I got MVP, 15 kills and 1 death. That was a very solid match. Guys, just keep in mind, the kills are going to come eventually, but most importantly, what you want to do is you want to just make openings for your team, be a playmaker. That's how you want to think about it. So, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.